Hello everyone and welcome to this new crash test. Today, I'm going to try out a YouTube recipe for you that has gotten no less than 27 million views and is supposed to let us turn a watermelon into jelly. I really want to see with you if it's easy to make, if it tastes good, and especially if it's worth making again. Let's get started right away. So for the first step, we obviously need a watermelon. The size doesn't matter, it's not important. We're going to cut it in half. It's really tough. Maybe my knife just isn't sharp anymore. This is off to a great start. I don't even know how to cut a watermelon. This knife is really dangerous, so I need to be careful. Now it seems stuck. Wait, it's fine. Whoa. Perfect, I did it. Now I'm going to get a container and we're going to scoop it out. It's satisfying. Perfect. The other way around? I'm going to try to make portions. It'll probably be easier to cut later. And with an ice cream scoop, I'm going to take out my pieces. And we're going to put all of that in the bowl. Well, let's be honest, it's a bit ASMR. And there you go, my half watermelon is emptied. And I'm going to set the other half aside. It can simply be eaten. Now I'm going to take a small container. And with a pair of tweezers, I'm going to try to remove as many seeds as possible. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of work to do. I'm being silly, I'm wasting juice when we're going to need it, and here we go with this precision work. I hope it won't take too long. I've been removing seeds for a while now, and honestly, it feels like I'm playing Operation. It never ends. There's always more. I have no idea how long this will take. But apparently, it's going to be close to an eternity. And for those who are wondering why I didn't get a seedless version, well, it's simply because in the original video, they use a version like this one. So I'm just following the recipes. Anyway, I'll keep going and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, that's good. It looks pretty decent to me. There must be a few left, but it should do the trick. Now, I'm going to put everything into my blender. Oh! Well, it's not a big deal. I spilled some on the side. I'll put the lid on. There we go. Perfect. And here we go. Let's blend all of this. It's not plugged in. Ah! If you leave it set to on, it starts automatically. The goal here is to get all the power. There you go, perfect. And now we're going to filter all of this. To do that, I'll get my large container from earlier, which of course has been cleaned in the meantime. I'm going to place a strainer in it. And to get an even finer level of filtration, I'm going to use a cotton bag. So here we go. I'm putting it in my strainer. And we're going to pour the contents of my blender into it. Okay, it's working. As you can see, the liquid goes through. And this should also allow us to collect the pulp. So I press, I try to get as much as possible. Perfect! And here's what's left of our half watermelon after separating all the liquid. If you want, and depending on how much you have, you can put this in the freezer for a few hours to get a delicious sorbet. Now, we're going to move on to the gelling part. For this, I'm going to take a small portion of my liquid. I'll put this in a small container. We only need a few centiliters at most. There we go, perfect. And I'm going to add some sachets of agar-agar to it since I have a little more than a liter of mixture. So it's a plant-based gelling agent. You can also use, gelatin sheets, but those aren't vegan. Let's go. That's one. That's two. I'll mix it a bit. And I'll put it all back with the rest of my mixture. Now I'm going to take my stovetop, a large pot. I always spill some on the side. Bring everything to a boil for 2 minutes, stirring constantly. So our watermelon juice is going to heat up, and when it cools down, it will gel. Now, I don't know if it's the agar-agar that's causing this, but it looks like it's becoming a bit whitish on top. I'm going to keep stirring. Alright, the 2 minutes have passed, and so far it's still not boiling, so I'm going to wait. Okay, good, there we go. And when that's done, we can turn off the heat. I'm going to get the half watermelon and place it on a stand to keep it from tipping over. And all that's left is to pour our mixture into it. There you go. Well, as you can see, we didn't lose much material in the process. That's pretty good. However, I'm a bit worried because it looks like there are two different layers. One on the surface and another more liquid one underneath. I don't know if that's normal, so I'm going to try to remove a bit. There's a kind of layer of fat. Well, maybe it's just tiny ultra-thin pieces that went through the cloth. Anyway, now all that's left is to leave this in the refrigerator overnight so it can fully set. Let's go. I really hope this works. I spent so much time on it. It's time to review this jelly watermelon recipe. I have the result of my preparation in front of me, and I'm going to get straight to the point. It's a total failure. There you go. It didn't work. I ended up with deposits that look like pigments, and honestly, I find it very strange. It's as if the watermelon water and its pigments completely separated after bringing everything to a boil. So, I didn't stop at this failure and I started over, this time boiling only a very small part of the liquid, adding the agar-agar and then mixing everything back together afterwards. I thought it would work, but after a night in the refrigerator, I ended up with something completely liquid. So that was the second failure. So, I tried a third solution. I replaced the agar-agar with gelatin sheets. I heated my liquid without bringing it to a boil, which was still enough to dissolve the sheets in it. I poured everything into half a watermelon and put it in the refrigerator for almost 8 hours, so I'm gonna get it and we'll see if it worked. Well, the good news is that in terms of appearance, it's already much better and the color is much closer to the expected result. When you put the two side by side, there's no comparison. I suggest we cut it to see how it turned out, but it looks really fragile. I don't know if I'll be able to make a clean cut. Yeah, it looks like the jelly is breaking. Okay. So, as you can see, we still have some deposits at the bottom. It's not completely homogeneous. Ideally, for a better effect, I should cut off the part without jelly. And here is my final result. Honestly, it's pretty fun to handle. There's something a bit satisfying about it. I suggest we taste it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so it still tastes like watermelon. That's pretty reassuring. The only thing that changes is the mouthfeel. However, this won't be a successful crash test for me because unlike what I imagined at first, it's not easy to do. It takes a lot of time and the result is far from exceptional. Honestly, it's better to just stick with a good old classic watermelon. And that's it for now. Don't hesitate to subscribe to stay up to date on when the next videos come out. And as for me, I'll see you very soon for new adventures. Goodbye.